Hi, I'm Becca and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make yourself one of these lovely swishy bracelets using some of your super simple folded beads. If you've not learned how to make these beads yet, I'll link the video in the description box below so you can watch that first and then you can make some of these beads if you want to use the same ones as me. You're also using just some leaf beads and some flowers and whatever you've got in your stash really. They're fun to make. I've got two, reason being I've filmed this once before and I had to redo it. Plus my daughter really likes it as well, so I've had to make her one as well. And her wrist is slightly smaller than mine, so I will talk you through going through adjusting the different sizes for doing a bracelet for somebody else that's not obviously not for yourself. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make these gorgeous swishy bracelets. Right, so first of all I want to apologise for the state of my hands at the moment. My skin has gone incredibly dry with all the gardening I've been doing, so I do apologise if you take any offence to the state of my skin at the moment. So if it bothers you, then you don't need to watch, but I just wanted to explain why my hands are looking rather dry. So got that out of the way. Right, so to make this bracelet we're going to need some about simple folded beads. If you've not seen how to make these, I'll link the tutorial in the description box below. These are just some flower beads, some leaves, and these are just some glass green and blue marble because I'm going for a green and blue effect. I've got two thread protectors, two jump rings, a small one and a larger one, lobster claw clasp thing, some size 10 seed beads and some size 8 seed beads. And I've already got my needle threaded with some beading thread. This thread I'm using is the Nicole beading thread from AliExpress, but you can use any type of beading thread which you're happy using. So I'm just realising you're probably not going to see it all that well on here, so I do apologise, but I don't want it to be sticking out because this bracelet's going to be for my daughter, so I wanted to be able to wear it and it not stand out that you can see all the thread. So my daughter's got really thin wrists, so her wrist needs to, it goes about sort of between 5 and 5.5 inches, but a regular bracelet I would say go to between 7 and 7.5, depending on who you're making it for. If it's a commission, measure the person's wrist and ask them how tight they want it to the body, because I can't give you the right numbers for whatever bead you're using, this is just what I'm using. But if you're making it for somebody, just double check what the wrist measurement is, and then you're not going to have to fix it afterwards if it's not the right size. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're just going to start off with our thread protector. I can remember. I just want to say I've put a little rubber band around my thread simply because I'm not taking it off the end yet, and that's in case I need to get any more thread later on. But I don't think that I will do, because I've got about 3 lengths, full arm lengths of cotton going on here, and I've given it a good pull to get all the kinks out of it. So with the thread protector, you just want to go up one side. There we go. So we're going on one side there, and then you're going to come down the other. Then pull it down to the end. So that's the thing with the beading, when you're first starting out, you've not got much to hold on to, plus you've got a lot of thread. So it can be quite easily tangled up. So now I'm just going to do just a quick knot. Try not knocking my beads everywhere. We are going to be doing more knotting later on, but this is just the initial one, so it's just not moving around everywhere. Okay, so get my thread back over here. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate between these marbled beads and these size 8 seed beads. Now I think I'm probably going to need about 18 of the glass seed beads, so we'll see what that's like once I've got them on. So yeah, that's took us to about 5 1/4 inches, and then I've got my clasp to add on at either end, so I think that should be just fine for her. She really has got really small wrists, bless her. Right, so then you just want to take your other thread protector and do the same as what we did at the other end. Right, so now I've come back down the other side. All I'm going to do is come back all the way through. And I've flipped it around just because that makes it easier for me. If you want to leave it in situ as it was, just pass back, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat, then that's up to you. This is just how I like to work. Whenever I'm beading, I always sort of, when I get to the end and I'm going back the other way, I just flip it round so I don't get too confused. So I'm back at the other end and we're going to go through the thread protector again. Now you want to leave a little bit of tension here, just a little bit of leeway. One, to make it easier for you to be able to put your fringe on, and two, because you don't want it to be all stiff, because this is sort of a bracelet that's quite fluid when you're wearing it, so it's a good idea just to leave it a little loose, unless you want to have it, you know, tight around your wrist, then that's your preference. This is just how I've done this one. Right, so I've got back down here. Oh, I've just noticed my threads come off the thread protector, so just push it up. There we go. Right, so now we're on to doing the fringe. Let's get those beads out of the way, I don't need any more of those. So I've come back through that first bead here, but I'm to the right of the first seed bead. So to the left of the glass one and to the the left of the glass seed bead and to the right of the glass bead and right of the seed bead. Oh dear, I think I've left my brain in bed as well. Right, so I'm going to add on these folded beads first, so push those ones up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 5 of my smaller seed beads. Again, use whatever you've got. If you've not got the sizes that I'm using, just have a play around and see what suits you better. And then I'm just going to take one of these folded beads and going through the bottom this way. And picking up one of the size 8s. And then back up all those 5 seed beads. If it comes a little bit too loose, you can just watch it up there. But again, with your fringe, you want it to be a little loose, otherwise it is just going to look like sticks sticking out. And then you want to come through the next, so like the size 8 seed bead here. So you're coming out to the left of that seed bead. Try not to get caught and everything. Yeah, so now I'm going to add some of our flowers and leaf beads. Now I'm wanting to alternate these because I know I've probably not got enough of these to do every one like I'm going to do with these folded beads. So I'm going to go, sorry if you can hear the neighbour of mine that's decided to start cutting his lawn or something now I'm filming, so I do apologise. Right, so I'm going to start with the flower first, and I'm going to have 3 of my smaller seed beads because I'm wanting these to sit in between the folded beads. So I'm just going to take the flower, come through, and then get another seed bead and then come back up through the flower and those 3 size 10s. Whacking my balloons. Okay, so now on the next one, so we're going to come back through this glass bead here, or the next one, and we're going to add another folded bead. So with these ones we're going 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one of these, size 8. I'm going with a size 8 for in the centre of these, so they look a little bit like a flower, so to speak, so it's like the centre of it. Then don't go back through that size 8, can't remember if I said that first time round, but then just come down the side of it and up those 5 size 10s, and then come to the other side of the size 8. So, as you can see, that's going to sit perfectly in between those beads. Now these are handmade beads, so they're all going to vary, and yours will vary to what mine are if you're using handmade beads. So what I suggest is just have a play around and see what configuration you need your seed beads to be in, just so that they sit this way. If you want them to all be the same length, so you don't have to work that out, that's absolutely fine. This is just how I'm wanting to do it. So the next one's going to be a leaf. So the leaf is going to be the same amount as what I've done with the flower, but these are a little bit longer, so that's going to sit here like this. So the pattern that I'm going to do is like for every size 8 that I've got in between a glass seed bead, so to the right of it I'm going to have a folded bead, then a flower bead, folded bead, and then a leaf bead, and then the pattern will repeat. So I'm going to do that until I get to the other end and I'll come back. Right, so I've had to adjust the pattern that I was going to do. On the original one that I made for myself, when I did originally filmed this video, because this is take 2, what I did was, trying to get it so that it's at the same point. Oh, wait, no, that way around. So with every bead I was going to put the folded bead, and then a flower, then a folded bead, then a leaf, then a folded flower, and just carry on repeating that pattern. But when I added up the amount of beads that I got, I'd not got as much to be able to do such a full fringe as what I've got on mine here. This is just got the pattern that I was telling you that I was going to do. I've got a few of these leaf beads left and a few of the folded beads left. So I've asked my daughter, and I'm just going to add these into it as I'm just going back through. All I've done is just basically done a folded bead, a flower, then a leaf, then a flower, and then a folded bead. So if you want to have it a reduced fringe, then this is what you can do. You can just basically adjust it to what you actually want in. But me, for when I'm wearing it, I wanted to have this really nice full looking fringe, and that's just basically because I've added something to either side of those size 8 seed beads. So in this one I've just added it to the right of them, if you're looking at it the same way as what I am. But these ones that are left over I'm just going to add as I'm going back through. I've just got to the thread protector, and I'm just going to do the same as what I did before, up one leg and down the other. Then come back through, and then I'll flip over the side again. So as you're looking at it now, there's nothing to the right of each of the size 8 seed beads. Let me try and get it flat enough looking for you. So as you can see, I've just got something to the left of each seed bead if you've flipped it over the same way as what I've done. So now on every other one, because I think I've got something for every other one, I'm going to add an extra something to the right of it. So I'm going to go back through and do that pass, and then we'll be at the point where we can start knotting off. Right, so I'm back at the other end. I've gone through my thread protector again, and I'm ready for doing my knotting. As you can see, the fringe is a little bit thicker than what it was after the first pass. This is just because I filled in any of those little spaces just with the leftover leaf beads and some of the folded beads as well. I just didn't have any more of the flower ones, but it doesn't look all that different to the original pattern. It's just it's in a different format really, so I've probably got more of the where the flower beads are the main focal of them, the folded beads are the main focal of this one here. So it's just personal preference what you want to do. So when we're knotting off now, I'm not going to show you me knotting the entire thing off because we'll be here for quite a long time and I think you'd get a bit bored. Now I think I should be alright to actually cut this off, so let's just take it from here. Ooh. Now I'm not going to cut it right down to the bottom of the thing because I don't want it to come unknotted, so I'm just going to do it there so it's a little bit away and it'll fall back into the bead anyway when we're doing our knotting up. So what I like to do is I sort of try to hold the beads so they're separating so you can just about see the little bits of thread, and then I will go underneath with my needle so I'm catching that thread that's there that we've put our beads on before, so it makes that loop, and then I will go through that loop with my needle and then pull it tight. And then I'm going to do this either side of the original glass beads just to make sure that it's nice and secure. So this is probably what's the thing that's probably going to take me longest, because I want to just make sure that this is nice and reinforced because I don't want it coming apart. And then all we've got to do once we've done that is to put our clasps on. So I'll be back once I've done all this and we can get it finished. I've got all my knotting off done now, so I'm just going to do the final knot after I've been through my thread protector once again. Just realised my thread had come off. There we go. Now something you could do, I've not actually got any with me at the moment, when you're knotting off and you're cutting it at this point, you could put the tiniest dot of either super glue or E6000. I've not got mine with me at the moment, but then you can sort of fuse the fibres of the thread and that will make sure that that knot is never ever going to come undone. Go through twice on that one, just snip it off. Put the nail to the side. So now we just need to put our jump rings on and our clasp. So the bracelet's the same either way around, so it's up to you whichever you want to go with first. I'm going to put the lobster claw on first, I think. So at this end I'm only using the tiniest little jump ring because the bottom of the clasp has not got an opening ring on it, so I can't add it directly onto it. So I'm doing it with just these little tiny jump rings because I don't want to make the bracelet too long and then it'll be too big for her. So when you're using jump rings, don't open them outwards like this. You want to sort of twist it. So grab either side and this one's very tiny, and twist it. So go in opposite directions with your hands. Then just put your claw on and then bracelet and then twist them back and try to make them overlap just a little bit, just to make sure that you've got that added strength on. Now go on to the other side and you're just going to do exactly the same thing again, but just put this larger jump ring on. The reason I'm using the larger one for this one, because this is the side that you're going to try and put your lobster claw through, so you don't want to make it too small so it's hard to actually fasten your bracelet. I just like to overlap them just a little bit just to make sure that it's not going to come off, and that's it, that's our bracelet finished. So I'm really happy with that one, and hopefully I've not gone off screen when I've done the filming of this one. So as you can see, this one's shorter than mine, because like I said, my daughter's wrists are a lot thinner than mine. So I've really enjoyed making those, and I'm glad that I've actually managed to put the added fringe on it, so it's similar to the other one, but it's not exactly the same, because obviously I've had to adjust because of the amount of beads that I've got. So I hope you've enjoyed this and it's inspired you to have a go at making one of these bracelets. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments, I'll be happy to answer them as always. If you've liked the video, if you could give me a thumbs up, that'd be appreciated. And if you've not subscribed, consider subscribing, that'd be appreciated too. So thanks for watching, I'll see you next time. Bye!